Avocado is a highly valued fruit because of its health, nutritional, economic, cosmetic, and industrial potential.
Avocado has a lot of benefits as avocado. You find that it has health benefits and it also has nutrition benefits. When you look at the avocado health benefits, you find that they can help with the heart and health problems. They can help with pregnancies because they are high in iron and so they are very good. They have antioxidants. So as we grow older, we need more antioxidants. So when you eat avocado, it helps you in that. So avocado has both health and nutrition and income benefits.
There is a high global demand that has progressively increased from $12.824 in 2019 and is expected to reach $17.905 billion in 2025. Avocado production can benefit both small-scale and large-scale farmers, especially when they work in organized groups.
So we are now learning strategies on how to make sure farmers reduce their losses from management of their orchards. And in doing that and training farmers, we are going to make them love the crop more.
These characteristics have made the Hass avocado one of the most popular variety, accounting for over 80% of global market share.
Hass avocado has been identified as a commodity that is ideal for export. It is ideal for export because first, it is a small fruit. Because it's a small fruit, it can be easily packed, and you pack a big number of them in a box when you're exporting. But it also has this rough, hard skin. So that means that it can stand the harsh conditions of transporting it to the final destination outside the country.
Hass avocado is one of the varieties with the highest oil content, and not only a high oil content but also with very good quality oil, and this oil is demanded across the globe, both in Europe, America, and some parts of Asia.
To achieve these benefits, one has to ensure proper site selection takes into consideration the growing conditions, the slope, soil characteristics, and plant acreage.
One of them is the altitude. What is considered is an average of about 2,200 meters above sea level will be good. For rainfall, of course, you can make adjustments because you can do irrigation. So that is something you can add on.
Other factors to consider include temperatures, the intensity of winds, as well as the type of soils. Land preparation is a critical stage in orchard establishment. It includes removal of perennial weeds, shrubs, and tree stumps.
Besides the tree stumps, you also need to remove ant hills. The other thing is, if you are in a very steepy place, you may need to create some contours to control soil erosion.
Avocado tree spacing depends on several factors such as slope, soil fertility, and farm practices.
Usually we have 3 spacing for avocado planting. We have where we use 5 meters by 5. Then there is where we have 7 by 7. And there is where we have 10 by 10. There the choice is for a farmer. When you use 5 by 5, you get a high plant population. And in that, with the time, you have to know that you have to remove one line, because as they grow, the canopy will come together. When you use 10 by 10, the population is low, but at least you have good spacing, because you know that avocado is going to stay for a long time and there is no need of cutting.
Once the land has been prepared and the orchard layout designed, the holes should be dug.
When we are digging a hole, it is supposed to be 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep. But while digging that hole, you have to separate the topsoil up and the subsoil down. After separating that topsoil, we don't usually use the subsoil at planting. So that topsoil, you have to mix it with manure before bringing your seedling. And that manure must have decomposed without heat. So to every hole, you have to bring a tin, I should say a tin or a basket, which is almost 10 kilograms. And mix it with a topsoil, and then you fill your hole. At filling the hole, you almost fill it to its brim. You just leave a small space on top. That is when, at planting, you will bring the grafted seedling. You remove the black pot, cut it, and you bring your seedling when it is intact with the soil and the roots. But make sure that at planting, you don't cover the union. The union is supposed to be up where we graft from. And when you are covering, make sure that your soil just stops on the soil of your seedling, the seedling which you have brought. Then after covering, make it a bit compact. Press that soil so that you remove all that air pocket.
It is advisable to stake the seedlings immediately after planting to protect the graft union.
You must be with a stake. That is a foot of like 1 meter. And press it, fix it just beside your seedling, such that you hold the seedling tight, not very tight to the stake. That will help the plant to grow upright. And at the same time, if it happens to get wind somewhere during the growing time, the union will not separate. Then after staking your seedling, then cover, at least mulch your place, and then water.
It is very important to differentiate pests and diseases by identifying their symptoms and monitoring the orchard for any infestation.
We have the Mediterranean fruit fly. Now in avocado, the Mediterranean fruit fly is a quarantine pest. What happened is the larvae goes and drills into the plant. So the symptoms you would see on the fruits, you would observe a diamond star, and out of it is coming out some white powder comes out of it. And with time, there will be premature ripening and dropping of this fruit. So one of the important control would be we use pheromone traps. In these pheromone traps, we have got insecticide in it that you put in every 10 trees of avocado. Others will use organic ways of controlling it. The second pest that we have in avocado that is also a quarantine pest is the false coding moth. Most people like calling it the FCM. It is also quarantine. If you have it in your fruits, that fruit will be rejected. So the symptom of this specific FCM is there is a small hole that is caused within fruits. Now from this small hole, you will start seeing the plant producing powdery, white powdery come out, and then darkish kind of root, wounding. You see kind of wounding on the fruits. And with this, you also use pheromone traps as control. And then the other pest that is also of economical importance in avocado are the thrips. The thrips also causes damage on the leaves and on the fruits. Same to the mites. These are different pests that we have. You can observe the different symptoms of the thrips and the mites and the scales. Also the scales, it's as you hear the scales, you go on the fruit, then you see it has something like scales. There are two diseases that farmers have to be observant of. One is the avocado root rot caused by Phytophthora, and the symptoms are, when you look at in the nursery, when you pull out the roots, you will see a black small roots that are brittle and they are dead. That is some of the symptoms. The second symptoms, the leaves are pale or yellowish green and the fruits fall prematurely. At advanced stage of the disease, we have what we call dieback, where the branches start dying back and eventually the plant dies. So how do you control this? One, make sure you use disease-free seedlings. So you check for symptoms so that what you're planting is a disease-free seedling. Two, make sure that when you have observed the symptoms, you use metalactic based fungicides such as Victory, Ridomil, and Mancozeb. The second disease that affects avocado farmers is the anthracnose. And for this, the symptoms is we have premature falling of the fruits and leaves. We have the fruits cracking. We have leaves with spots. This affects mostly post-harvest fruits. And the farmer makes losses during marketing and storage. So when the humidity is right and there is warm, the disease will advance, and what you see is a rotten fruit. On the surface, you see a salmon pink mass of funguses growing on it. So how do we control this? One, you spray using carbon-based fungicide. Two, you drench the soil with the same fungicide. Then lastly, when you have brought the fruits, sort the damaged ones from the best fruits, and the best fruits to kill or to control the fungus, dip them in warm water.
Assessment of the correct harvesting time is important as it directly affects fruit quality and storage and shelf life. Harvesting avocados before reaching maturity can lead to deficient ripening and quality.
One of the main factors we consider when harvesting avocado in the field is the ring that it forms on the stalk of the fruit. There is always a ring that forms, and that is the key feature that shows maturity. The more pronounced this ring is, the more mature the fruit is.
We are talking to cosmetic companies, we are talking to exporters, people that are potential markets for the farmers, so that then in the future, as we engage more farmers, we start linking them with the markets, and that makes the farmers more comfortable to join more into this production.